Yo guys, so welcome to another video, and today I'm going to be reacting to my Premier League predictions I made at the start of the season. I didn't actually do a video this year, but I have a picture of the predictions I made like the day before or the day that the first game of the season was played, so I'm going to be looking at them and see how much I got right. So in the relegation zone, I predicted Cardiff in 20th, Huddersfield in 19th and Brighton in 18th. Two of them sides finished in the relegation zone. Huddersfield finished 20th and Cardiff finished 18th. I was 2 wrong on the Cardiff one, and to be honest, I thought they finished last because they didn't make an amazing signing like Wolves and Fulham, but they did alright. They finished 18th. Few ref decisions screwed them over, but overall they didn't get enough points to stay up. In 19th, I predicted Huddersfield, and they were absolutely shocking this year. Their best player of the season was probably a guy they signed from Charlton Athletic in January. He was their top scorer, I believe, and they signed him from a League One side in January. So that's quite embarrassing. One of the worst Premier League sides I've seen probably ever, to be honest. And in 18th place, I predicted Brighton. They actually finished 17th, so I was only 1 wrong on that one. And to be honest, it wasn't that bad. I thought they'd go down because their players were quite old, but they stayed up. But to be honest, they need to sign some alright players to be able to stay up next season. In 17th, I predicted Watford. They actually finished 11th, so that was probably one of my worst predictions. But to be honest, because they sold Richarlison, I thought they wouldn't do that great. But they surprised me. They're in the FA Cup final as well, so they've done amazing this season. In 16th place, I predicted Newcastle. They finished 13th in the end, so I was 3 wrong on that one. But to be honest, I did predict that they would go down in the league compared to last season. And they did, so it was an alright prediction, but it wasn't correct. And in 15th, I predicted Southampton. They actually finished 16th, so I was 1 off on that one. And I knew they would stay up, but I didn't know whereabouts they'd be in that bottom half of the table. But I was only 1 off on that one, so I'm quite happy with that. In 14th place, I predicted Wolves, and this is probably my worst prediction as they finished 7th in the league. But to be honest, I did think that they would finish in the bottom half of the table just because, well, I thought Fulham made more signings and better signings, so I thought they'd finish below them and they'd finish around mid-table. And they actually finished 7th and could be in the Europa League next season, so they've had an amazing season, so fair play to them. In 13th place, I predicted Bournemouth. They finished 14th, so I was 1 off on that one for like the 4th time. But to be honest, Bournemouth had a pretty good season. Surprised they finished 14th, because Fraser was 1 assist off the joint most assists, and Brooks, Joshua King and Wilson are pretty good seasons as well. In 12th, I predicted Fulham, and they finished 19th, and many people predicted them around like 14th, 13th or 12th. Because they made so much signings, they were pretty decent, but I don't know why they just didn't perform, and that's why they got relegated. And finally, in 11th, I predicted Leicester. They finished 9th because they sold Mahrez, and I think I made this prediction before they could have sold Maguire, so I thought they finished around 11th. But they finished 9th because they kept Maguire and they signed Tielemans, who did very, very well. In 10th, I predicted Crystal Palace. They finished 12th, so I was 2 places off that one. They beat Man City and Arsenal away, so I mean, they probably should have finished top 10, but because every other team around mid-table is pretty good this season, they finished 12th. In 9th, I predicted Burnley, and they finished 15th, so I was 6 places wrong on that one. And to be honest, I knew they'd struggle in Europe, and that would probably affect them this season, but I never knew they would be that bad, to be honest. They've only got some half-decent results in the last, few months. So, they've had a poor season, but to be be honest. At least they got a Europa League campaign. In 8th place, I predicted West Ham. They finished 10th, so I got the prediction right that they'd finish in the top 10. But because it was so tight between these teams, it was very hard to predict. And to be honest, they probably should have finished around 8th or 7th, but they didn't. And they had a very good season, considering I think they lost their first 4 games. They turned it around pretty nicely. In 7th place, I predicted Everton, and they finished 8th, so I was 1 place wrong on this one. And they signed some good players. They have done very well in this second half of the season, and if they played like that in this first half of the season, they probably would have got 7th. In 6th place, I predicted Chelsea, and they finished 3rd. And to be honest, I think that's because they didn't have a striker, and they had Morata for half of the season, so that I thought they wouldn't do that well, and because they were playing Europa League on Thursday, which could have affected their league performance, but it didn't. They finished 3rd, and they are also in the Europa League final now, so they've done pretty good. And in 5th place, I predicted Man United. They actually finished 6th place. I knew they wouldn't get in the Champions League places, but I never knew they would do that bad this season. They were absolutely shocking, to be honest. They finished 6th. Although they sacked Mourinho when they were 6th, they appointed Solskjaer, and now they're still 6th, so not really that much of an improvement. They need to fix their team, to be honest, because they were absolutely shocking. In 4th place, I predicted Tottenham, and I was spot on for the first time in this predictions. It's taken me till 4th place to get one right, and I thought they finished 4th because they didn't sign anyone to improve their team, and their team is Champions League quality, so I thought, they just finish in the top 4, probably in 4th because they haven't improved, unlike the other 3rd team, which is Arsenal, which I'll move on to in a second. But they did finish 4th, and I'm pretty happy with that prediction. And in 3rd place, I did predict Arsenal, mainly because I thought, they signed Torreira, who's very good, and he's proved that he's been alright this season, and they have a pretty decent lineup. But they did finish 5th, but are probably going to still get in the Champions League after winning Europa League. But they've done alright this season, but they could have finished top 4, but they haven't. And moving on into the final 2 positions, I predicted Liverpool in 2nd and Man City in 1st, and I got this spot on. To be honest, I thought Liverpool would finish top 2 because they reached Champions League final, and I didn't think they would have enough to win their first Premier League title, and I thought Man City would win it back-to-back, because if you score 100 points in one season, surely you can't not win it the next season, and that's what I thought. There was a great title race between them two, and hopefully Man City just win it every season, because I support Man City, but hopefully we get some more title races like that Man City do go on to win. But anyway, that is my predictions. I got 3 out of 20, which is quite disappointing, but next season hopefully I can improve on that and get like 5 right, which will be a quarter correct, which probably what I'm going to be aiming for. But I hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you did like it, make sure to like and subscribe to the channel, and comment how many of your predictions you got correct in the comments, and I'll see how I did compared to some of you guys. So hopefully you can comment that, and hopefully I can see you in my next video, which will probably be on the weekend. Goodbye. Still carved in me. I need assistance like I